I believe there's a lot of darkness in Hollywood right now, and I believe it's been there for quite some time.
Because everybody knows. Everybody in the damn industry knows. But nobody wants to be the first to accept the liability. You know why they found it? They found it because I was like, hey, guess what? I found my copy and I'm gonna release it.
Corey, who has been around since his childhood, has come forward with evidence that can destroy the very foundations of the entertainment industry. The Lost Boy claims that he is willing to give names to the key players. Brace yourself, people, as this expose will surely leave your jaws on the floor. Corey Feldman is the star child of the industry who has reigned the screens for the majority of his life. The talented actor has decided to reveal the villainous shadows lurking behind the scenes. A few years back, the activist came forward with an intention to reveal the true colors of certain top G people in his documentary. He reportedly started an online campaign to raise about $10 million to make the documentary into a reality.
So I'm begging you to join me and let our voices be heard. I've lived in shame and fear my entire life, and so have millions of others.
The actor revealed that his account of this unfortunate reality would be the ultimate truth. He alluded in a podcast video that he is willing to unveil his own story of hell to the world so that there are no victims in the future.
By telling my own story in a very real way, in a very honest way, with no editing, no censorship.
Although many media platforms have criticized Corey for attempting to raise such a substantial amount, the fans believe that Corey is on point with numbers. One of them said they criticized him and said he didn't need $10 million, which he explicitly explained how he would use it to make an actual movie, which is exactly what Sound of Freedom did with $14 million. He definitely knew what it was going to take to bring this message to the world, and he was on point even with his numbers. Recently, it was announced that the documentary in question has been completed. In addition to that, now Corey revealed that he's ready to expose the real identities in My Truth, the of two Coreys, censor rape. It has been revealed that the documentary will air as a pay-per-view on the official website. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, he revealed that he has faced a very hard time during the filming. It's been a tumultuous and very risky and very scary time period. The last 2 years have been insurmountable, but I believe that with great risk comes great reward. And I believe the reward in all of this, if nothing else, will be that these guys are finally exposed. I'm hoping that what happened to Harvey Weinstein will happen, that multiple victims will come forward, and as a result, these guys will finally get indictments and we can put them out of business. While promoting the documentary on the 𝗘𝗹𝗶𝘁𝗲 show, that within the names who exploited his boundaries, there are powerful people who reign at the very top of the industry, Feldman believes that by speaking out now, he hopes to help bring justice to past victims and prevent others from being preyed upon. The sensational artist refers to the downfall of Weinstein, the disgraced movie mogul who was recently convicted of rape and criminal SA against 2 women in a watershed, as the first real shoe to drop in terms of such crimes in Hollywood. And we're hoping it kind of clears the pathway for more justice and for more voices to be heard, because this is really about enabling the voice of the survivor and empowering the survivor and turning the tables. All of these years, it's been about protecting the bad guys, and that's the way the laws were written, unfortunately. Many of you might not be aware that Feldman has been speaking up about these allegations for years. Back in 2013, he published Choreography, a memoir, in which he let the world in on a painful secret. He explained that he had been a victim of unspeakable crimes when he was a child star. According to him, his longtime friend and frequent co-star Corey Haim, who died from pneumonia in 2010, had also been Feldman didn't use the real names of the alleged criminals in his memoir, something he has been feeling guilty about ever since. In an interview with Today News, Corey revealed that real names were not included because the publishers resisted greatly.
Because when I wrote my book, the publishers prevented me from writing the names
down. That's what I meant by we were down this road before. Yeah. We didn't get the names.
Exactly.
Despite what many might think, Feldman actually has real-time witnesses to the accounts being portrayed in the docu-film. He declared, "What we did is line up several witnesses who had all heard firsthand from the victim himself. These are firsthand witnesses who got the story directly from the victim before he..." We think we've done a really good job of being even-handed in showing what the argument is and what both sides have to say, but also showing the weaknesses in their argument. I think we've done a good job of covering the scope. And I think in doing so, it's really going to draw people to the conclusion that what we're saying is true. Feldman also went on The View to talk about how the PD numbers are larger than anybody knows, including a ring reaching up into the Hollywood elite that's been shielded for years by the establishment. Barbara Walters, an alleged undercover elitist, tried to silence him by accusing him of hate speech by saying, "You're damaging an entire industry." She actively tried to allude that Hollywood itself was more valuable than the wrecked lives of a few youngsters. Later on, the star child shared with Variety Fair that many big names are connected with the alleged P ring, and it's not only in the entertainment world. He revealed, "It's all connected to a bigger, darker power." I don't know how high up the chain that power goes, but I know that it probably is outside of the film industry too. It's probably in government. It's probably throughout the world in different dark aspects. Feldman revealed that he had suffered so much at the hands of evil that he was no longer afraid to speak up against the dark forces. "I've had so much pain, so much anguish, and so much in my life that most people probably would be. There's so many times that I tried to kill myself as a child, so many times that I attempted, so many times that I would sit there and wish and pray that somebody would just come by and knock me off. I used to think horrible thoughts all the time because I didn't believe that I was worth existence. I really didn't. I couldn't understand why God kept me here." Without much regard for his reputation in the industry, Corey wants it to be common knowledge that he will not stop fighting this crime till his last breath. "What I really care about the most is having Kids Too become a movement as well known and as utilized as Me Too, so we can help give more victims the courage to let their voices be heard and bring their stories forward." Feldman says, "What I would like to see happen is law reforms to continue across the country, state by state, until we abolish the statute of limitations. With the help of Child USA, I believe we can get that done." Despite this monumental achievement, Feldman still dreams of building halfway houses where young survivors can find support, something he didn't have as a kid. And even with all the challenges he's faced, he looks back at his teenage years and thinks that young Feldman would be proud of what he has accomplished. We'll see if any of this works. Look, there's a distinct possibility that none of this works, and that people can continue just trashing my name and abusing me and saying I'm just a terrible guy. But I don't think so, because I think we've really started a movement here. That's what makes me proud. That's what makes me feel like I've actually accomplished something in my life. Fans believe that Corey has stood by his words and accomplished a great feat that will go down in history. A fan commented, "Corey was right, and nobody believed him. He was consistent about it back then and still as of this day. He was determined to expose these animals. I pray that God will protect him and his family. He did the right thing." Others believe that Corey is still traumatized to this day, and despite it, his attempt to unveil the truth is commendable. I feel so bad for Corey. He's been saying it for years, and Hollywood called him a joke and made him look like a crazy person. He kind of helped himself out look on a crazy person sometimes, but that's what happens when you get touched as a child and no one wants to listen to you. He's been on the march for trying to get people out of Hollywood and try to show people this, but no one ever believed them until recently. I hope that he has more pieces now than he has ever had. R.I.P. That's it for today. See you at the next one. Goodbye.